Welcome to another episode or segment of Kaito Media. Today's segment is going to be about the evolution of listening devices and how they have evolved throughout the years. Now, I am your host, Ashley Pineda, and here I have my wonderful audience here. Can you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Anna Marie.
And I'm Jamie.
And we're first going to start off this segment with a bit of the history so we can get a bit of an idea. Today we'll be learning a little bit about the history of music listening devices. Now, why is this today's topic? Well, we see more and more changes in recent day music and how it really evolves as a whole. The way we listen to it, the way creators make their music, as well the many options we get once we have our favorite artists and they release all these, ways so we can stream their music. They either release it on vinyl, CDs, cassettes, or just pre-download it, or just you can download it on your phone to make it easier. We all open up YouTube when we have our favorite artist release a video, or we go on Spotify and we get notifications on Spotify, as it makes it much more easier for us to listen on the go. Now, you'd be surprised on how many artists still make vinyls, cassette tapes, CDs, as many people think they're out of style. You'd be surprised on how some of these actually still stay trending, or how some people still use the nostalgia and add this into their music, and it gives it that bit of being realistic into their music. As we start off with our first one, it starts off in 1877, as the human voice was recorded on tin foils by a man known as Thomas Edison. He would use two needles to record. One would be the recording, and the second one would be used for playback. That was soon called a phonograph, as it was the first thing he had used to record words, and the first thing that he used to record was Mary Had a Little Lamb. Now, that one was kind of a bit scary, I'm not gonna lie. I would highly suggest, I'll put the link of the website here. I would suggest giving it a look, and honestly, that is scary. He wasn't really singing Mary Had a Little Lamb, but it's still cool on the way how it captured audio, and it must have been surprising for everybody. Soon the tin foil cylinders were replaced with wax, as it quickly became the new instrument that recorded and shared music, as they would dominate the use of the invention, as the wax cylinder stayed in use up until 1920. Next up, in 1888, as soon as the gramophone was invented, it was a device that recorded sound to a disc instead of a cylinder. Crazy, right? Well, now that the recording of the sound was allowed for mass production, as the Victrola was soon introduced in 1906. The design of the device was mainly focused for it to be somewhere placed into a home. Basically, like, not this big machinery that won't fit in someone's daily, in their house. This one was specifically made so you can just have it in your house, or just, be able to put it somewhere and it wouldn't take up too much space. Now, it had used a 10-inch disc called a 78. Reason for the disc would rotate at 78 rotation per minute, as the disc is a shell cut. The material was very brittle, very resin, as it was known to be very, very breakable. So not as the vinyls, but this one would be extremely fragile. So let's per se the needle or just anything, let's say you would have dropped it too hard, it would crack, it would break. It was very, very fragile. Now, in 1948, Columbia Records had introduced the new vinyl LP for long play. The records were 12 inches, as they rotated at a 33.5 and had a micro groove. It was a huge importance of a type of evolvement, because at this point the sound quality had increased and music was actually sounding a bit better. It wasn't as muffled, but it was a bit much more clear, and the quality was very much improved. This was consisted of its boundary, so this is how it would look like. And they were paired up with the sleeves that the previous ones would be located, as they did open up as a book here, and you could just take out the sleeves or put the disc inside here. This is how they would have the vinyls soon evolved to, as what we know now, before we had the fragile ones. So these are not as breakable, but they are a bit more bendable, which you still should be careful. But they have come a lot farther, and they're very much preferred still by many people around who like to use vinyls. Now we can see that we have many different types of vinyls nowadays. It has evolved a lot. I know now when people make vinyls, it's like this type of wax, or it's like this type of plastic that you can just squish down, and you can print on both sides different music and all that other stuff. It gives many artists the creativity given with their songs, albums that are released. Popularity had died down a bit, but honestly, still in 2026 now, we do see an uprising. Next up on the popularity chain came the cassette tape. It was invented in 1930. It grew in popularities in the 50s when the portable auto tape was manufactured. In 1964, people were able to push 30 minutes onto a cassette for $1. They were more than a vinyl album, but still enjoyed in popularity, and it was portable. Then in 1960, the first 8-track tape was sold, as it was made to reduce issues, as the main issues they would face was a jam. Usually the cassettes would jam so much. And then again, popularity skyrocketed as Sony soon introduced the Walking Man in 1979, as it was a small portable cassette player, as you could fit it in your pocket. Again, it had better sound quality, and it wasn't getting constantly jammed like the other ones would. Now, in 1980, the emergence of the compact disc and the release of CDs played as in 1988. CDs had sold more than the actual vinyls, as CDs were more portable, especially when the CD players that made it possible to listen to music on the go. Now, in 1992, Sony introduced the mini disc, the MD, to the digital art market, as a new compact disc experienced the limited success of the set due in high prices and costs of the playback and recording, which could record upon where they were very much affordable for consumers. Now, in 1990, digital audio and the internet led to the invention of moving pictures experts, as it soon was more widely known as MP3s. As this format was a type of format compressed audio files, which allowed them to easily be sent from one computer to another. As the format compressed these audio files, which would allow them to easily be sent from a computer to another computer, this technology also emerged a greater success onto all audio files and companies that would provide music sharing services. Napster was a music file that would share these services and allowed users to download and share music for free. Soon, record labels began releasing music on the internet in 1997, which soon led to the greater use of internet downloading. Soon had created many issues due to copyright, as we know nowadays. Copyright laws as of 2001, Apple had soon introduced iTunes to the digital jukebox, along with the iPod, which allowed for thousands of songs to be accessible rightfully in your pocket. The Apple had launched soon the iTunes Music Store in 2003, which allowed users legally to obtain songs through the internet site sales. 4 years later, Apple iPhone hit the market and combined with the iPod with cellular phone features. Spotify is a Swedish audio streaming app, which soon its media service was found in 2006. And soon in 2022, the world's largest streaming company provider. Nowadays, we have many streaming media, example, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and many much more. As we are able to listen to music, yet keep a part of history with us, even in our hands or in our pockets, as we get to enjoy the full experience of listening to all of our different types of favorite music. All right. Well, as we saw and got a bit of a history, we can see that these record players, vinyls, CDs, all different types of media listening platforms have come so far. Now, I do want to say these have come so far now, especially in the big 2026. And honestly, what are your guys' intake on just the history in itself with the devices up to now, from it starting from a tin, just like a tin foil cylinder, to now where we can just use Spotify and the internet to listen to music?
I just want to say how like impressive and kind of insane it is that we've gone so far in like not a short amount of time, but like hasn't been that long. So it's incredible to see like the journey of music, how it went from a tin needle to us being able to listen to it digitally and just carry it around in our pockets. Especially seeing the evolution where you had to have a CD, and to play your CD, you'd need a CD player and a record player if you had records. But now everything is so digital that we don't even need all that stuff. We could just listen to it on our phones with a tap of our finger. And I think that's insane and incredible all in one.
Yeah, I agree. I also think it's really cool how generations always seem to bring back like what our grandparents were using at the time. You know, our parents brought it back and made it cool, and how what our parents were using, we're bringing it back and making it cool. How what I was using growing up, you know, the newer generation is bringing it back and making it cool. So I find it awesome and beautiful, actually. So, yeah.
And yeah, we can see that a lot too, especially with these two specific records. They kept, like, in the history, before they would just be like a one sleeve where it would come with like a little poster with the design, which I love personally because it keeps the creativity of the author and their album. And some of them choose to keep it as the book one, where you can just open it and see the designs inside, and it just tells the story in itself. Now, I do have a game here which I would like us to play. It's called Guess the Classmate. Now, the rules for this game, it's going to be, we all look on the screen. We have either an artist or a song, and we have a list of everybody in our class, and we're just going to guess who it matches to. Why are we playing this? Well, it's kind of an icebreaker, I would like to say. We get to know more about each other, as well as it kind of shows you where everybody's listening to their music, and it keeps in, yeah. Now, before we start this game, I do want to start off with our sponsor, JCA. They are a self-owned business where they do go to these car shows events. So if you're looking just to see amazing wrapped cars, just finding wraps for yourself, finding merchandise, hoodies, sweaters, stickers, just any normal day appliances, I highly suggest looking on their website, JCA Studios, as well on their Instagram. They're really fun. I've gone to one of their events. It's honestly amazing. It's even if you're not like a car person, you guys can just go walk around. Usually they have some freebies around the events. But yeah, now let's get started with our game. First off, we have, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Dia Thao. Is that correct? Oh, Didi Thao, sorry. Right. She's a Hmong artist, mostly sings in Hmong, but she has a couple of songs which she sings in English in her channel. Now, who do we think it is?
I think it's Lee.
Yeah.
All right. And the answer is Lee. She enjoys listening to Didi Thao's music as they are really catchy as well groovy as she sings in English, which she enjoys a lot. Now, the media she mostly listens to is YouTube as well as Spotify, which we'll see more in common. Now, next up is Leda Crow? Liana Crawford. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. She's an American contemporary Christian singer-songwriter who is signed to Provent Label Group. Sorry if I butchered that.
That is Cicely. We know that.
I'm going to go with Cecily just because of knowing her devotion to her faith. I'm going to guess Cecily.
Yep. And she enjoys listening to her as she enjoys her songs as they feel relatable and calming. As well, two of her favorite songs, I think, is Fragile Hearts as well Jesus Is. The media she uses is Spotify, but mostly uses YouTube. Now we have Jeff Buckley, an American alternative rock singer and guitarist known for his 1994 album Grace and his hit song Lover You Should Have Come Over.
That is what's his name? I'm so sorry.
Jeff Buckley?
Yeah.
Carter. Would that be Carter?
No, it's not to me.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
I like his songs, yeah.
Yep. She enjoys listening to her favorite artist, or it is her favorite artist at the moment. Her favorite song would be Forget Her, and she listens to many different type of music genre.
I listen to Jeff Buckley on Spotify and YouTube.
Wow.
Which I would highly recommend giving him a
Yes,
listen. He has
he's a
good
great
songs.
artist.
Yep.
I've never heard of him.
All right, next up, it's BTS, also known as the Bangtan Boys. They are a South Korean boy band formed in 2010. The band consists of Jin, Suga, J-Hope, RM, Jimin, V, Jungkook, and as well, they co-write or co-produce much of their material. So who are we guessing?
I'm gonna go Jael, and I would like to proudly say I am also a big fan of BTS. Good music.
I'm gonna say Jael too.
Oh.
There it is.
Ooh, I'm
Sorry
too
about
good.
that, but yes, you were
I'm too
correct.
good, guys. I'm too
You're
All
good.
right.
at this.
unnecessary.
Too good.
All right, yep. She enjoys listening to BTS. She's been a huge fan of the group since 2019. Their music has provided them with comfort as well as reassuring during their most difficult time and ongoing, as they are gorgeous, kind, and hilarious. She mostly uses Spotify, which I could add, yes, they are.
Yes.
And
so
they just had their
I
comeback,
can
so
quickly confirm they are
they had
quite
their
handsome
comeback, so
and hilarious.
Oh my god, I feel so old. I do not know them.
Next up, we have Chase Atlantic. Chase Atlantic is an Australian alternative pop band formed in 2014 by Brother Mitchell and Clayton Cave, as they were found, and their friend Christian Anthony.
With our last person.
I think that's Ashley.
Yeah, I'm gonna think it's Ashley too.
Just because, isn't it?
It's
Yes,
right there.
'cause
Yeah, I kind of.
She proudly owns all the albums except one. So with that information, I'm gonna go with Ashley.
Correct. I am missing just one. I enjoy listening to Chase Atlantic as it has different types of genre in their music, as they release different types of album, which each one feeling different from the other, and it's honestly very easy to connect with their music. I mostly listen to them on Apple Music, YouTube, but I also like to buy vinyls.
Oh.
Nice.
And now next up, we have The Weeknd. The Weeknd is the stage name for a Canadian singer and songwriter, record producer, and actor, Abel Macdon. He credited with pioneering the 2010 R&B wave and influencing contemporary artists like Deepo and Usher. I'm sorry.
Who would that
Ooh.
be?
Is it Carter? I feel like he's the only one we haven't said, or hasn't. So I'm.
Well, I would say that's me. Yeah.
What?
I love The Weeknd. He is one of my favorite artists. I don't think that he influenced Usher though, because Usher came before him.
No, he was
Oh, he's influenced by.
yeah.
100%.
So like, yeah,
Okay.
the other way around. Not
Yeah.
him, but yes.
Yeah, so I listen to The Weeknd a lot through Spotify usually, and YouTube sometimes. Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah. All right, and that's it for our game today. I do want to give thank you to everybody, to our audience, our producers, everyone behind camera to make this possible. And I hope you enjoyed today's episode for Kaito Media.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.